This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of June 20th, 2016, and I hope that all of you are getting ready for a long weekend. July 4th is just around the corner, and I know we're all looking forward to having that extra day off for a little bit of time at home with family, with fireworks, and with frankfurters. You see what I did there? A little bit of alliteration. You all know how much I love to do that. But I want to talk to you about something that maybe you're willing to dismiss as so-called first world problem, and that's getting satellite TV on your boat. Oh, you're thinking, oh, how I wish I had a boat large enough to get satellite TV. Well, of course, we all wish we were wealthy enough to have something like that. And maybe, just maybe, I'm lucky enough that of the couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 people who listen to this podcast on a weekly basis, that one of you is wealthy enough to do it, and maybe a few more are wealthy enough to have friends who are wealthy enough to do it, because we all kind of like to move up socially and associate with people who are a little bit better off than we are. My first thought when you're thinking about satellite TV on a boat is, gee, you don't go out on a boat to watch television. But if you're talking about a cabin cruiser, a yacht, something like that, well, you do need something to do in your downtime. And for the most part, internet service, streaming video, that sort of thing is right out when you're talking about being on a pleasure craft. I mean, cellular radios really only work for about a mile to a mile and a half, and that would be even if there was one right at the shore and you were right in direct line of sight of it. So it's not fair to think that you're going to get a lot of cell phone service once you get into deep water, and that's where you're going to need either an over-the-air TV antenna or a satellite TV system. Over-the-air TV antennas do work for marine, and there are some limitations, and of course, the materials that they're made of tend to be a little bit more sensitive to corrosion and oxidation and all those things that happen in salt water. And as you get more than 40 or 50 miles away from shore, which if you're in a large craft, this could happen quite easily, then you're just not going to be able to get any TV reception. At that point, your choice is satellite. Marine satellite TV is going through a whole bunch of changes lately, and due to the way that Dish Network is structuring their satellite transmissions, due to the way that DirecTV is structuring their satellite transmissions. And what this means is that as we move forward, there is not going to be a better time to get satellite TV on your boat. Honestly, the domes are getting more and more efficient. They're getting better. The computers are getting better. The variety of receivers that you can use are getting better. You now have the ability to use DVR systems on a boat. And you can even have a single dome that has the ability to get programming all over the world, depending on how it's wired. If you're the kind of person who does it all yourself, or just has somebody install it and then maintains it yourself, fantastic, we can work with you. But more often than not, with a lot of these pleasure craft, we work with somebody who maintains them, either by living on board or by maintaining a whole bunch of ones when they're in the dry dock. And when something like that happens, when we're talking about an engineer type of professional, folks, I hope that there is at least one of you listening in my small crowd, and I want to tell you, we speak your language. The largest group of people that we associate with satellite marine television are these engineer types, and it sounds like a great job to have, by the way, just being on the water all year, just making sure that everything is all set with the audio-visual stuff. I know that I would like to do it, and probably you guys would too. If you're one of those engineer types, you need to know that by getting yourself into satellite TV for marine, you're not sticking your neck out. You're dealing with proven technology that's only getting better and better every year from companies that can be trusted to be there year after year, that's going to provide the best possible quality service. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you'll always get service even in the choppiest seas and the darkest clouds. But putting that aside, I'm going to say that most of the time when you're out on the water, as long as you're not in an incredibly dangerous situation, you're going to be able to get satellite TV. And if you are in an incredibly dangerous situation, well, maybe you've got something better to do than watch television. That's the end of my spiel for this week, and I hate to kind of be a shill because I prefer to do these podcasts as more of a thought kind of piece. But I wanted to make sure that you all knew that this kind of option was available. Before I started at Solid Signal, I never really knew anything about marine satellite television, even though I knew an awful lot about a lot of other things. This was new to me. I hope it's new to you, and I hope it's something that you'll follow up by giving us a call or going to solidsignal.com. Until then, have a great week.